Very frustrating. Angry Manchester City punished by embarrassing UEFA decision. Manchester City made mistakes in their UEFA Youth League game, but a trio of officials got a crucial call wrong. Manchester City were denied a penalty in the UEFA Youth League defeat to Villarreal after 3 officials failed to spot a foul in the penalty area. The referee, supported by a linesman and the 4th official on the same side, agreed that Floyd Samba had been brought down, but chose to give a free kick rather than a spot kick. The incident came in the 70th minute of the game in Villarreal, as City were fighting to get back into the match. 2 first-half goals had given the hosts the lead, but Divine Mukasa had pulled one back for Ben Wilkinson's side, and they were pushing for an equaliser when sub Samba collected Ryan McAdoo's ball inside the box and was brought down. "He's definitely in the area. He's not even on the line. He's inside of the line," said City Club commentator Ali Mann. "I'm not quite sure how the officials haven't seen that. It's not a difficult decision to have made, but he's got that one wrong." Mukasa smashed the subsequent free kick against the post and the chance was gone, with City unable to find an equaliser in the final 20 minutes. Wilkinson was one of 11 booked from both sides in a chaotic match that saw tempers fray as the referee struggled to handle the occasion. City's coach was in no doubt that his players only had themselves to blame for their 2-1 defeat after gifting their opponents 2 goals with poor defending. However, it is not a great look for UEFA for their flagship youth competition when 3 officials all failed to see that Samba was clearly inside the box when he was fouled in the second half. Manchester City contract decision that split opinion is beginning to make sense. Manchester City beat Villarreal 2-0 in the Champions League, and Brazilian winger Savinho was key to the success. In among a flurry of new contracts dished out at Manchester City in the last couple of months, it was the one given to Savinho that was of most intrigue and led to the most debate. The Brazilian had only been at the Etihad for 1 season before seeing a contract with 4 years still to run extended to 6 years, with a hefty pay rise included. The 21-year-old's debut campaign had been promising, but he had flirted with an exit in the summer when he fluttered his eyelashes at Tottenham, who had a strong interest in signing him. Savinho missed the start of the season with a mystery injury as that transfer saga dragged on, and his social media activity didn't always endear himself to the fans, although it might be that amateur sleuths were reading too much into a suitcase lurking in the background of a photo of a pool table. He has certainly cleaned up since. You could argue he played the window perfectly, earning that new deal and extra cash as a result of Spurs' desire to sign him. But with the contract and the salary comes an expectation to perform. His performances last season sparked plenty of debate, and his first start of this certainly split opinion. He ended up scoring at Huddersfield in the Carabao Cup, but until his 74th minute goal, he had frustrated supporters with another night lacking in end product. Pep Guardiola seems enamoured, however. No player got more minutes in the Club World Cup, and the 21-year-old has now started 5 of the last 6 games. He might just be taking his game up a level as well. He has started to perform more consistently, and having set up Erling Haaland for City's second against Everton on Saturday, he was excellent at El Madrigal as the Blues cruised past Villarreal in the Champions League. So dangerous was Savinho that the hosts' left-back, Alfonso Pedraza, was booked after 11 minutes and hooked at half-time, having seen both goals come down his flank. Savinho played a perfectly weighted pass to Rico Lewis to help create the first, and then stuck a cross on Bernardo Silva's head for the second. He combined well with Lewis all night, and the intelligence of the play down the City right was a joy to behold. They were direct when required, but showed patience as well, waiting for the right opportunity to inject speed into a move. Sergi Cardona came on for Pedraza, but he fared little better. Savinho glided past him a couple of times in the early stages of the second half, putting him on the back foot and making him doubt himself from then on. There was one brief spell last season when Savinho threatened to start delivering regularly. He scored and assisted against Leicester City at the end of 2024 and created 2 goals against West Ham at the start of 2025. But then the fizz quickly disappeared again. In total, his first season at the Etihad yielded 3 goals and 13 assists. That isn't terrible, especially in a team that often struggled, but more was expected, and now more is starting to come. Savinho looked bright in the United States in the summer, and during that tournament, Guardiola backed him to eventually deliver on that potential in the final third. He is a player with incredible potential. He said, "We cannot forget he's so young. He needs to make the final third more decisive in aspects like the goal he has done in the last game. He has to do it more. The last goal is more and more complicated and difficult to score than the previous ones. One against ones, the keeper, that maybe last season he missed. The moment he will make this step, which will come in a natural way because he has incredible individual quality, when it arrives for his commitment to say, I want to do it, I want to be decisive, I want to score goals and make more assists, he will become an extraordinary player. He can play on both sides, right and left. He's so fast. He understands tactically the movements he has so to do, so that's why he can play with us. This will be near the top of the list of Savinho's best performances in a City shirt and gives him a platform to build on to prove he is worth the faith Guardiola has shown in him." Manchester City dealt fresh injury blow in key position amid Rodri's setback. Manchester City are already without Rodri and are now facing concern around Nico Gonzalez after he limped out of the game against Villarreal. Manchester City have been handed a fresh injury concern in midfield after Nico Gonzalez limped out of the Champions League clash with Villarreal at El Madrigal. Gonzalez was again standing in for the injured Rodri, but was forced off just before the hour mark and needed treatment from the club's medical staff. The 23-year-old appeared to point towards his groin when he went down and received treatment, although he may have also been complaining of an impact injury after a coming together in midfield. The £50 million January signing from Porto has been impressive recently and had praise from Pep Guardiola ringing in his ears during Monday's press conference. His fitness will be a concern with Rodri still nursing a hamstring injury he picked up against Brentford just over 2 weeks ago. Guardiola said on Monday he expects the 2024 Ballon d'Or winner to miss this weekend's Premier League trip to Aston Villa. "It's not long, but it's muscular, and you have to be careful," the City boss said. "We've tried so many times, we've tried to not take a risk, but we have not been able to do that. So we will see." Gonzalez was replaced at Villarreal by Mateo Kovacic, who made his first club appearance of the season on Saturday after Achilles surgery in the summer. Kovacic is a potential stand-in for Rodri and Gonzalez if neither Spanish midfielder is able to prove their fitness in time for the clash at Villa Park. The only other City player currently on the treatment table is defender Abdulkadir Kusanov. Nico Gonzalez makes Pep Guardiola admission at intense Manchester City midfielder. Nico Gonzalez has had an eventful start to his career at the Etihad, but is learning a lot. Nico Gonzalez has finally confirmed what everybody suspected about Pep Guardiola. Those pitchside chats are a lot. Gonzalez received possibly the lengthiest post-match debrief from the Manchester City manager anyone has seen when he was collared after the League Cup win at Huddersfield. What started with both sets of players on the pitch at full time ended with the pair as the only two that hadn't disappeared down the tunnel. City's manager has been keen since to talk up how open-minded and coachable Gonzalez is, and spoke on Monday at the Estadio de la Ceramica about the 23-year-old improving with every game he plays. "I have the feeling that he's getting better and better," the manager said. "It's not easy sometimes arriving at a new club and playing a different style than A played, but we are really pleased with his behaviour, and I'm pretty sure he will be better month by month, year by year. He's open-minded, so coachable, and a lovely guy. His mum and dad have to be so proud of how he is as a player and human being." Gonzalez laughed at the compliment about his parents that was put to him, and was more open with reporters than many can be as he discussed his dreamy 9 months at City after moving from Porto in the January transfer window. "It may be hard work taking in a passionate Guardiola after a game, but it has stayed with him. They are intense, obviously," he said. "He is really intense, and he tries to show you what you have to do better. At the end, when you are able to do it, you understand why he is so intense. But then, after he has explained everything, you keep thinking about it, which is good. You keep thinking about what you should improve. Those moments, even now, I keep thinking about them when I go to the pitch." Since he arrived, Gonzalez has been stuck in a Rodri loop he cannot escape from. He isn't seen as a natural replacement for the Spaniard or for the number 6 role, but is the best City have in a position that Rodri is still unable to fill regularly, as his injury problems have carried over into this season. Even this challenge is accepted with a smile by Gonzalez, and the midfielder was happy to take advice from Rodri on Saturday at half-time of the Premier League win over Everton. The comparisons may be inevitable, but if Gonzalez can keep growing at this rate, he could begin to be seen on his own terms. He has to be himself, but when you play with top players, you always learn, said Guardiola. If you are open and see how your game can be better, you can always be better. Nico has to be Nico, and there are things that he can be fantastic and things that just for his age he can be better. Rodri's unseen role at Man City amid different feeling. Rodri has travelled with the Manchester City squad to Villarreal. Despite being unable to play, Rodri is helping Manchester City to feel they can do great things this season, with or without him on the pitch. The Spaniard has missed out on a match against Villarreal, the club where he made his professional debut, as a result of the injury he picked up at Brentford earlier this month. He sat out the win over Everton at the weekend, but was seen coaching the players in the tunnel before the second half and has travelled to Spain with the squad despite being sidelined. Nico Gonzalez is growing into a midfield role after his £49 million January move from Porto, and was as happy to take on Rodri's instructions as he has been to listen